Well, now we're into May 1st and getting ready for the bluegill season. So first I need to prepare a few of my fly rods here. One for my wife, one for myself, and then if one of the kids come up, they like to fly fish. Fly fishing season's 3 weeks away. It's May 1st, so by the last week of May they should be on the beds. These first two fly rods are fly rods that I made myself. Pretty easy if you want to get into making your own rods. Most of these I have made. And you can see here on this one here, and it's got the United States flag on it. But pretty easy to make, and it's a lot of fun. So how do we prepare our fly rods? Well, first thing we want to do is we want to get some new monofilament. You don't need tapered line, all the fancy stuff that you would want for trout and stuff. So just buy some regular fly line, tie some monofilament on here. Monofilament I like to use is 4 pounds. You don't really need anything bigger than that for bluegills. You could even probably go down to 2 pounds if you want. We're going to cut this off, put new pieces on, put a spider on each one, different color, and we're going to use some fly line wax. Not only would we wax the monofilament line, but we're going to wax 25-30 feet of the fly line itself. Now, if you got a fly line that doesn't already have a loop in it, you can make one pretty easy. Just turn it over like this and tie it in a loop. That will work just fine for bluegills. Now, you can buy a little needle that goes into the end that you can tie a line to, or you can buy fish lines like on these other two fly rods here that automatically come with a loop in it like this. But again, for bluegills, they're very aggressive. Both will work. How much monofilament do we want? Well, first of all, when we pull our line out to fly fish, we do not want the end of this going back through this top runner here, this top guide. So I like to keep it a little bit shorter. So say a foot from the top, I start my monofilament, and I want to go all the way down to where I'm going to hook my spider or my dry fly, whatever I'm going to use here. You can even go down if you're going to hook on the reel here. And that's all you want for monofilament. So we're going to cut that off, and then we're going to tie one of our spiders that we made, and then you can visit one of my other sites on how to make your own dry fly spiders that work great for bluegills on the bed. What kind of knot do we use when we're tying our fly line on? What I like to do, thread your line through your fly line, hold both ends, twist it 6, 7, 8 times, even 10 turns, go through the loop that you made with the monofilament, take that end, wrap it back through the loop you just made. Pull that. Now you see that tighten down like that. Now that knot is not going to come out. That's a self-tightening knot. You can pull it out like this, but that's secure. You just clip this end off now. I like to use a 4-pound line for my monofilament on my fly rod when I'm fishing for bluegills. 2 pound will work. It might break, you might lose a few, but 4 pound works great. You know, you can use 6 pound too if you want. It doesn't really matter. The biggest key is we're going to have to use some fly line wax on both the fly line and the monofilament. We want to keep those floating. You don't want those to sink. If you get into fishing and you're starting to see that sink, a little harder to pull up and whip your line, then you need to get it back in and get some more wax on it. All right, here's one of the spiders that I made. We tied that on with the same knot. Now, if you're using that self-tightening knot that I showed you, and it's not holding for you, take this line and put it in your mouth. Just get it wet, and that will keep that from slipping out on you, and it will tighten right down. But we got a green spider on here now that will float. I'm going to put a yellow and a black on the other two. Now we have our 3 spiders on our rods. We have our green spider. We have a brown one instead of black, and a yellow one. These are all spiders that I've made. In fact, I just made a bunch of these different baits, spiders and stuff. You can make your own poppers. I do that. Very easy to do. Get a little lacquer paint for the poppers, a little clear coat. But all these that you see in the top here, I made these in one night. Now we got to use our wax. Here's the wax that we use right here. If you open it up, it's got a little cloth in there. It's got a lot of wax in there. Now we'll wax that mono. So we'll come right up the monofilament, right up to the spider, and we'll do the fly line, like I said, 25-30 feet. All right, now you can see here, I've got a bunch of fly line out, Got my spider here. Now I'm going to take my cloth and I'm going to start waxing up and down that line. I'm going to go up it and right back down. Wrap this around, and now we just go up and down her. Right up to our spider. Got wax all over. Now let's go back down. All the way to the other end. Alright, now we got one ready to go. We can wrap her up and put her away. And in 3 weeks, we'll be hitting the beds.